There's no doubt about it that by far the most anticipated Star Wars TV show of 2023 is indeed the Ahsoka Tano series, since it is going to basically have groundbreaking elements in the show provided by Dave Filoni that's going to also take a lot of key moments from Star Wars Rebels Season 4 and a lot more from Star Wars Legends. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, the one thing that John and Dave are dedicating their lives to is turning the tide for Star Wars, right? Really trying to turn things around for the better, providing a positive experience, not creating any kind of controversial content or, something that's going to divide the fans, anything like that they want to avoid. And that is where the Ahsoka series comes into play. It's actually described to be the home run of the Star Wars TV shows on Disney+. Now, the thing about all of this, though, is that John and Dave have been caught up with other situations involving Kathleen Kennedy and a couple of instructions provided by the Disney board members telling John and Dave what to do about certain projects. And we're going to be going over what kind of trouble they're recently, dealing with and what kind of roadblocks they're recently running into. So let's, tap right into all of this, because we already know that John and Dave, very passionate guys, very detail-oriented individuals. They have a very goal-oriented mindset, and that's what I like about them. Their passion shows through their work, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. However, maybe or maybe not, they're not the best at repairing damages done on a massive scale. We're going to be tapping into this now. So, with George Lucas now very much involved with the future of Star Wars by working next to John and Dave for new shows and movies for the roadmap. However, it's described that currently Favreau and Filoni are currently running into lots of trouble with one particular Star Wars TV show that has been creating so many issues with the lore and the canon of the franchise, with John and Dave now helping out with the Acolyte series, ordered by Disney board members to help aid in the very difficult production and the damage done by Kathleen Kennedy had caused with the show. Now, John and Dave are said to be finding way too many obstacles to clean up the show in time, in such a small amount of time, mind you, and are running into serious doubts that they will be able to, of course, get this done anytime soon, and that they will not be able to do anything significant unless the show is delayed by at least one whole year. Now, Disney board members are not happy about this, but understanding the situation, and are taking that into consideration of delaying the Acolyte until at least the end of 2024. So, guys, I want to be very clear about this. The Acolyte was never intended to be a 2024 release at all. First, it was supposed to be fall of this year, or 2023, I should say. Fall of 23, and that got pushed. Then they actually delayed it till the very beginning, Q1 of 2024. It was like that for a very long time, until now. John and Dave are having a lot of trouble with this actual show, fixing and patching certain damages done by Kathleen Kennedy, once again, causing Disney to lose a significant amount of opportunities and revenue, etc. It's messing up with their timeline. Of course, this is going to impact other shows if this does end up getting delayed. Let's not forget about that too. Once usually one show gets delayed, other Disney product shows get delayed also, shifted around here and there. There was a reason, by the way, why the Bad Batch got shifted around too, and a lot of it had to do with some of their Marvel projects getting shifted here and there. Now, on top of this too, we have a lot of things happening with John and Dave attempting to fix Skeleton Crew as well. Now, that one's an easier, situation, but the Acolyte is something across the board difficult. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that it has so many canon-breaking moments that not only pose a threat against the prequel trilogy lore and how fans are going to perceive those movies in a very different way and not for the better, and John and Dave are trying to piece everything back together again, But it's also the fact that the Acolyte series is going to actually toy around with the Chosen One prophecy, doing some big changes to the Anakin Skywalker prophecy, stuff like that. And this is something that Jon and Dave are just really trying to fix. Now, on top of this, Favreau and Filoni are having problem after problem trying to fix canon-breaking scenarios in the show. That has to do with the Jedi Order, the Jedi themselves, and even many lore pieces that were created by George Lucas that are best described now as all tangled up and confusing as a mess on their end. With the Acolyte now facing a massive delay by 1 whole year, Kennedy is said to be pushing Disney to release this early regardless of the canon-breaking scenes in the show. Even the board members who support Kennedy want to delay the series by holiday of 2024. Now again, do I mind that this show's getting delayed? Well, I don't really care about it all that much because it is a Kennedy-driven project. Let's not forget about that. But who am I to judge a show that has no shred of footage just yet? We've gotten some behind-the-scenes photos. We've gotten some, set descriptions, a lot of things happening with that show. But other than that, I don't really like to judge a show entirely until I see either a TV spot or a trailer at the very minimum. At the minimum, is when I'll, at the minimum, kind of criticize what it looks like, how it's flowing. And then once you see the show is when you can really judge something. I mean, that's just the hard truth, guys. I know it's made by Kathleen Kennedy, I know it's being led by her, and everything like that and all. But let's not forget, I'm no supporter of Kathleen Kennedy, I'm not. But let's not forget that Rogue One, it was a pretty good movie, solid movie, right? I think everyone will agree, or most of you out there. But that was also during the Kathleen Kennedy era. So who knows, it's that type of thing that I often think about, who knows. But the Acolyte show, I don't believe it's going to perform well. We've been hearing nothing but bad things about this, behind the scenes wise, with the cast and the crew having a very toxic environment, very similar to Skeleton Crew also having a toxic environment, and a lot of delays and setbacks and disregarding George Lucas's philosophy, and it's coming off as a very shaky situation right now between Jon, Dave trying to piece everything back, and they really are finding it to be a very difficult task because let's not forget, guys, these are creators that are passionate, that have a lot on their shoulders, and when you deal with a toxic or with a very negative atmosphere, it does impact your mindset. It does. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know. Anything like that affects your mindset when you are trying to work on multiple things at once. And I think that's why also Jon and Dave are really kind of finding a difficult time with this, is that they're trying their best to focus on the good rather than the bad, right? So overall, there's a lot of things that are coming out of this. I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one from night to moon.